Hi, I'm Sean, and you're watching Shopworx. On this episode, I guess we're going to be getting back into more rust repair. We found a whole lot more at the end of the last one there. Just kind of hoping we were going to be moving on to patching, putting stuff together I already cut apart, but looks like we're going to be cutting more and filling in more. At the end of the last one there, I showed you guys some cracks, so I'll show them again here, and if any of you guys know what's causing them, I'd love to know, because I thought it was a manual transmission thing. Played with a lot of these trucks, and I always seem to get them up in the front there, but they're all autos up till now, so always open for input. So, but I guess we'll get started on fixing some more rust. Delve a bit more, see how bad it really is here. Actually, looks like it's only just localized in this area here. Obviously this stuff here, but I'm already planning to change out a chunk of this and patch in anything here if I do need to, but don't think I will. Actually, I should just cut this out first and see how bad we are underneath it. It might not even be worth doing. Might just few little spots, fill her in and go. But definitely a patch here, and this one here I'm just going to fill a couple little holes that are coming through. This whole bottom piece of the wind cowl there was just full of dirt when I got it. Wish I had the camera rolling when I poked at it and it all came out, but you know how that works. we'll put back in. Where the spot welds are here. Set that out and see how bad it is. If not, you guys got to take more. I still have other pieces here. You know why it rusting out there. It's a good build up. That'll work. Clean it up and we'll graft that in. Well, before I weld this one in here now, I'm going to drill this and clean it up. Drill in each corner of the crack. For disc. Actually, a lot around between both. Popped a couple holes in for plug welds. Line up good with that. holes. The spots filled in there, and the crack over there. Didn't really have to grind them down, I guess, but I did. Carpet's going to cover them. And we'll see about doing these other cracks up here at the same time. Now these cracks here, the one up right here by the tranny hump, and the other one where the trans tunnel starts, I see them in just about every truck. And I always thought it was something to do with the manual, but this cab was auto right from the get-go. So anybody knows why that's doing that, I'd love to hear it. In the meantime, I guess I'll fix it. Didn't want to remove this stuff. Well, if it removes it, it takes forever. I'm actually wondering if this stuff's walking around because there's a hammer on it. You can see it move. Up and down. I'll clean it off here a bit and I'll stitch it back onto the firewall itself. Drill out the ends. I thought it was there, but it actually ran on. You can tell when you're drilling whether you're in the crack or not. If you are, it just seems to go right like nothing. So clean this out here, and then we'll start at the corners, work my way in, and then up, and probably run a bead across. And again, not too worried about the bead on that one. I'm not even going to bother grinding it down. Keep as much on it as possible. Again, same thing, just drilled her out. I got lots of heat in there to go through. I figured no point notching that crack. So hopefully that'll keep those like all the other ones I've done. So obviously we've got swelling going on under here. You can see it in 1, 2, 3, 4 and a little bit there. What I'm going to do is trace this out, drill out the plug welds, and then open her up with a zip cut. punch some holes in it and we'll get her in. Will that cool off? Do another. That's how it's done. Two done already. Well guys, gonna get back at it again today here. Got a different helmet now, one that fits underneath my, or over top my respirator. Couple days of bad fumes out of here. You know, wearing the respirator for most of it, but couldn't get in and see what I was doing out of my old Miller Elite there, so ended up getting a new one. Hopefully we can get at it and won't be getting sick and not being able to swallow for a week at a time, and which I guess has been leading to other issues from not drinking water, like gout. So if you see me hobbling around and trying to film with one hand shaking all over the place. So I got my other hand holding the cane because I can't really walk. So I'm gonna keep on keeping on here and see if we can't get something done. I'd like to get this project out of here in more ways than one. So let's get at her. Got my steel-toed Jesus shoe on here that fits. So we'll get her. Well, so what I've been doing is laid in a bead right along here to seal all that up, and we started finding the thin spots in there, and I just layered over everything in here. For what I'm welding here, this isn't going to warp enough to make any big issues for me down the road for what I'm doing. Just going to go and do some more back up in here, obviously right in these thin spots here. And nice thing about doing it this way, when you blow through real quick, you know it's real thin, so you got to add a bunch. So not my choice idea, but it's what I got to work with right now, so it is what it is. Well, I took these and made something similar. I'll probably have to cut them down a little bit still out of the 10 gauge here. We're going to replace the bottom plate and the top plate with 10 gauge. Already got the studs marked on both of these for multiple reasons. One is my measurement, and two, thread something in there and give it a little bit of a tweak here and there and whatever I need. We'll be doing both the two sides there, and then when I figure out what I'm going to be using for a seat belt bolt there, I'll be either welding a nut on the bottom, something similar to that, or chunk of some 1/2 inch or 3/8 plate and drill and tap what I need. So holes there so I don't forget and can line stuff up. And I guess we'll get at her. Knock that off already. No, but I betcha. I know when they did the Ranger and Buddy went over it, he took it inside a thing and he shut all the lights off. In the building, the bay.
Don't think this is going to do it. Plus, I think it's confused. It's like, yeah, there's stuff on the back here.
Got it glued in from both sides there, from the top and the bottom. We'll make sure the bottom's done good too, because it holds the seat belt, and don't want any water getting up and in. Can't really weld from inside there too easy. Got to get at the other side now. Well, after letting the dust settle in the shop here, I came in today, blew it off, and I'm gonna end up coating this stuff here with some weld-through primer on the spots where I'm going to be welding, and other spots where I'm not going to be welding will just be self-etching, and we can keep piecing some of this stuff back together here. So, spray some on. Basically anywhere it's going to get any of the welds plugged or tacked onto it there is what's going to get the weld through. Right here. Very backside over here as well. a bunch of this after anyway, but we'll just wait to do that whole strip. I'm not doing that side yet. Let's concentrate on what I got to weld down on the corners. Well, weld on primer I think is dry to the touch now, so see if we can't fit these cab corners in here now. Start getting them welded in. And then that should fill the basin for the bottom here, and then we can test fit the quarter after I do the other door cover part and see where we've got to move it. Before I actually do the quarter here, I got to get this last body mounted on the back here. Make sure nothing's sagging or pulling, because I take the quarter on and then stretch something or wow something in there. So kind of hopping around a little bit, but got to do it. I'm progressing here. Really wish the 023 gun liner would come in. I've been using well, basically bricked the whole spool there now, just about of 023 and an 035 liner. Really pain in the ass when you're working with a 15-foot width. Well, I've got the repair panel in here. Just have to go in and get the little 2-inch flap sander and get at her. Rebuilt the back here with a quarter panel attached down below. I'm not putting anything in here yet until I know how everything's going to line up. Same thing with this side here. And not sure if I'm going to stick with this or cut it out and patch something else in there, but it's for my second fuel filler inlet. Kind of like how it's dished back here for the rear tank. Need something for the front, and from here I'm probably going to have to run it through either here or back behind the frame. Well, I've been cutting and hacking in more ways than one. John's been trying to pull some dents out of the roof here. Picked up a
First time at it.
PDR kit, and he's trying to learn as you go here. Figure may as well learn on the roof. Roof doesn't have to be too critical here. It's going to be covered in Raptor liner anyway. So, thanks to all that hail damage. Looks like they're coming out though, eh?
Yeah.
For the most part.
Trying to pull some dents out of the top of the cab there and put the glue on to put these pull tabs on. We're painting this dent repair. As it happens, you can see where it pulls the paint right off the cab, and I'll show you where the cab is right up here. And somebody's painted it and it hasn't adhered to the other stuff that's good. I'm having this as a common problem with this white paint.
I think somebody didn't sand this down because I noticed it elsewhere too on here.
You can see it right in here. Sort of a cream color paint job.
Yeah, no, I noticed it in the door jambs doing the same thing, peeling.
So,
You see the paint pulling right off.
kind of hard to pull this stuff up that way.
Is those doors maybe? One of these doors.
All these white doors.
Tell they didn't prep the paint worth a damn in here.
Yeah, you can see the original color right here.
Well, she'll be a little more sandy than normal. Take the whole layer off, I guess, when we get to it. So while John's working on that, I'm going to be working on the back body mounts there. I repurposed some angle I had floating around, filled a couple holes in her. I've got this jacked up here, leveled out. I got a bit of a problem otherwise. I didn't notice that, but when we took the sides off there's really not a whole lot for support. The frame ends right here for the body itself, and basically the back end dropped about a ½ inch on there. So what I've got going here is we got it jacked up, so now we're straight with the level, or a straight edge. Before it was, gap like that kind of thing, sagging down. So got to get that fixed up before I start test fitting the quarters on the back to fill the rest of my pieces in here. So get these buffed up. The only thing I can really see doing in here is building the bracket. Comes up with a piece of angle across and then bolts back down on the side there. Should be plenty strong for what we're doing. Well, we got the actual brackets built for the body mount there for the back. Is it overbuilt? I'm probably going to say so, but we'll clean it up. This thing's going to go, so that drops in on one of the frame holes, and the back sits in on top of the frame there, and sort of pivot it up with the mount in place, and away we go. So I'll clean it up. You can see it's still smoking a bit, and we'll get them installed. Okay, so I've got both brackets on, driver's passenger side there. I'm going to be dropping the weight off it here and see how it settles out. Make sure everything's still lined up and make any changes if I have to. And then we can start getting back on the rest of this stuff here. Let's see how it goes here. Well, I'm not going to lie, I kind of like the rake it had before, but I guess the guy can always play with shims later if that's going to be a problem. But the most important part is we're sitting good with the level now. So, get the brackets pulled off here, I'll get the right bolts in and button all that down, but for now at least it's taking the weight, so you can line stuff up. And start putting the rest of the homemade replacement parts on. Hey guys, surprise! I got a quarter panel on. No, just kidding. Just test fitting it so I can do some rust rebuild in the back there. There's going to be a few fitment issues here. I'm going to do a complete video on the quarter panels when we're putting them on. And what I've got to monkey with here. I really wish they would have thrown in the tub for the fuel filler. That would have been nice. Save a bit of work. I would have gladly paid another $10 for that. So anyway, the rust I'm fixing up here now is sort of see how it's fitting in here. I had nothing really to go by for measurements. Just about everything was all rusted off, so just trying to make stuff fit up the way it should. I'm going to put a piece of 2x4 flat bar in here instead of running multiple layers of tin steel together that'll rot out in no time. So I'll get that put in there, and then I'll rebuild the rest of the rotten steel here that should be holding this piece in. So that's what I'm working on now. Once I get this side done, then move over onto the next side, and it's going to be a lot of fun and fighting trying to get the sides to line up here. So unfortunately, it's going to be what it's going to be. Well, I've got the bottom built in on here now. I'll hold the bottom of the quarter. That's all pieced in and ready to go. So when I get back to it, it'll be test fitting these. I put the other one on top of the top.
You're faster than I expected. Oh.
And cut this piece off.
Oh, you should bend that up and then bend it back down. What do you think?
I don't really want to bend. I'll just cut it off and put it back on. Safety goggles.
You have to put on here.
Yeah.
Oh, once he's not, it's done with it.
Why am I stiffed up so high here?
Well, you've got the same problem, too, yeah.
Well, we're close now. Lines up a little better than the other one.
Yeah, it does.
Hammer it in,
You'll have to stand it down if it's there now, so don't do it.
Yeah. So, as you can see here, I'm going to end up putting that piece of flat bar back in. I'll probably rework this up a little bit so it's not touching. And then I got to put the other piece of tin in here once I get it cut to the right profile. And use that as a support. Guess there's a point camera. So, and use that as a support once I cut it down to the right profile there to weld it. So that's what I'm up to. Some some fitment fun here for sure. Get this stuff all into the right spot. Looks like have some fun with some Clecos, I guess. Anyway, I'll get this tacked up here where I need it and get it welded out and move on to the rest of the welding. I'd like to get her done. Be done welding for a while, at least any major stuff. So hopefully at the end of this video everything else will be minor. Well, as you can see, I went ahead and filled in the 4 corners on the window there. And the other spot here that was all cracked out and rusted. So that's all ready to go. So all that I have left to weld in now is the rockers. Down here, a rusty spot, I just want to change those out and get those changed out and keep on going with it. Blending in my seams there, a little 2-inch flat disc. Maybe tomorrow I might be able to get some quarters on. Hopefully. Well, we'll let that dry for tomorrow and be able to seam seal it. And hopefully get those quarters going. I'll coat the inside of them too, so we'll get the rest of that in the copper. Well guys, this is hopefully the last of this video here, last day. We'll be putting these pieces in here where there's just a little more cancer than I was hoping for. We'll be getting these all fit in and get them all fit in and buttoned up there and welded in. And once I get these two done, then I can seam seal the other seams here. So I'm going to get at it in a minute, but I'd like to thank you guys for sticking through to this part of the video anyway. Hopefully you like what you see, and wouldn't mind to like and subscribe, or at least comment, because that all helps this channel of mine out, so helps YouTube's rankings and gets out and more people can see it. So anyway, let's keep at it here. That's what I'm changing right here. That's a 12-pound roll that went into this project. Well guys, I guess we'll be wrapping this video up here, and got these two rocker pieces cut back in, both doors there. So basically that's all ready to go now. I think all my major welding's done as far as rust goes anyway. So might be some other stuff here. I'm toying with the idea of putting a fish plate over top the seam there. Just the way these things work out, there's not a whole lot here to bite to when you graft them. So hopefully you like what you see, and like, subscribe, and comment, or any one of the three, and we'll hopefully see you around on the next one doing the quarters.